everyone. Welcome into another episode of PM in the AM. I'm your guy, Pat Bernard, alongside my left-hand man, Mike Laro. Guys, listen. Phenomenal week in baseball. The Phillies, last week we're going through some tribulation, a little bit of rough patch there with the West Coast. Again, two places in history they struggled, in Colorado and San Fran. Nonetheless, they turned things around back at home, again, against a Cardinals team that was coming in red hot. But I noticed something about this Phillies team, and I know something about this Phillies lineup. Mike, and I want to see if you agree with this, but when these opposing pitchers come into South Philly, and you hear everything that, you watch out for this guy's curveball, watch out for this guy's fastball, all this stuff, their best pitch by the...
Uh-oh. I think Pat froze there. Yeah.
It's their worst enemy, because this Phillies they do a great job of figuring you out, and they capitalize. They capitalize all the time. So I wonder, Mike, what is it about this Phillies lineup? 1 through 9. 1 through 9, it's 9 innings of pain.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't 9 innings of pain yesterday, Pat. Sonny Gray looked really, really good. If he would have had more offensive support, we may be talking about a different outcome in this game. Sonny Gray, I thought, pitched a really good game for him. He's a really good pitcher, too. The only time I don't remember that dude ever really having a good year is when he was in the Bronx, when he was with the Yankees. But, I tip my cap off to Sonny. He pitched a really good game. But I'll tell you what, you're going back to me yesterday when Ranger went down. The guy for me who stepped up, and he's been stepping up all year, has been Spencer Turnbull. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts. For me, I give him the player of the game. I know Harper had a big home run. Him and Bohm each had 2 RBIs yesterday. For me, Pat, I look at it like this. I just want the Phillies to continue winning series. If they continue to win series, man, I don't, they could really end this quick. The Braves are really falling, and I'm shocked. I am so shocked because the Braves and the Dodgers, as much as I get on them about their postseason, during the regular season, man, they always seem to make the right move. Or they always got a guy waiting in the wings to come right in, take right over, and start producing. And I don't know, man. Like, I watched that game yesterday. Believe it or not, I was actually watching I caught the tail end of that Braves game yesterday, and for them to let that go, holy cow, man. Holy cow. They had Oakland right there. And they
Mike, it's two different worlds right now. It's this time last year we're kind of ebb and flow, up and down, trying to figure things out, and it's complete opposite this year. Like, there's no, you mentioned about Ranger Suarez going down. Oh no, some of our sphincters starting to tighten up. No, it's no problem. Jose Ruiz comes in, takes care of business. Like you said, Spencer Turnbull comes in with 6 Ks. He's got some nasty stuff. He's got some nasty fastballs. Top, inside, get you swinging. And Ranger, again, you only got a small sample size yesterday, but this is why this guy is the most dominant pitcher in baseball. With an ERA of 1.70. This guy is nasty. Tied for the most wins. And to watch what he really does when you focus on what does Ranger really do. Again, gets guys chasing, throw some stuff into the ground and gets guys golfing all the time. Then he'll throw stuff right down right down Broadway, and there's nothing. There's no bouncing back. So Ranger Suarez is just a whole new person now on top of that hill. Again, looking sharp. He's looking really good. The bullpen, this was pretty much a bullpen game, and we beat you with our bullpen. You know what I mean? This is, like I said, this was a bullpen game. Like you said, Spencer Turnbull with 6 Ks. Ruiz coming there doing his thing. Again, it's Murray's Road just with the bullpen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Even though he gave up a couple hits, Orion Kirkering also. Soto coming in. Soto, he not looking bad. I'm really liking where this is. I think at the Phillies right now, if you're looking for the Phillies right now. I think they're probably going to go after a bench piece to bring in. And I think they're also probably going to go with a bullpen piece. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this Phillies team, man. Like they're never out of a game. They're never out of it.
No.
And it's going to be real good, man, to see what happens tonight over there at the bank. National audience again. They were on Baseball Night in America last night for Fox. Now they're on ESPN tonight. Harper always goes up big in these games, and it's now June, so I'm expecting Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run tonight. Just saying.
Well, listen, why don't you get into these comments here, because we got to talk about Mr. Harper.
Yes. We got our boy Steve checking in. He goes, every year got to watch the Flyers go to the Cup. Speaking of hockey, Mr. Gobbler, I do believe you lost your bet because the Rangers were eliminated.
Hold on. We're not yet, because I did say Ottawa was going to go. So we're kind of split right. If Ottawa loses, I'm not Ottawa. If Edmonton loses, and then I have to come out of pockets. So so far the Rangers, the New York Rangers went down in the heat of flash. I mean, this Florida Panthers team just came out of nowhere.
I'll tell you what,
it's
going to be a good Cup final.
Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that a little later.
Steve also saying Timo, Shen, Berube, Bob. It's depressing. Steve, listen.
Yes, I know.
You can't.
Thanks for letting us know, Steve.
Yeah, like Bob didn't want to be here. Timo, Shen. I mean, Shen, we traded for pieces. I mean, you had to do that, man. So, I mean, I'm tired of it. It's like, Pat, remember all the Phillies that used to leave out of here and they would go have success elsewhere? God, do you guys remember Dave Stewart one time, the great ace pitcher? One time was a Philly. We had him here. So it happens. You know what I mean?
How many times have we seen that story? Hey, look, it's the home foreman. Good morning. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, love. Checking in. Steve saying, my Panthers pick may be the best since 93 Habs. Rangers, Celtics, 1 down, 1 to go. I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to talk about that basketball series, too. I think that's going to be a really good series as well. Dimes checking in. He goes, happy Schwarber season. I just mentioned that.
What's up, buddy?
Must be killing Jerry Jones to be the 4th best show in town. You know what? Probably. I mean, think about that for a second. You got the Rangers. Now you got the Mavericks. And the Stars are all more relevant than the Cowboys. Holy
I'm telling you.
That's crazy. All right. Little G. Griffin said, I'm a big Eagles fan. I'm a big fan of the Eagles 2024 season. 14-3. I'm going to be an uncle. Well, G, congratulations.
You want to take that one?
Congratulations.
Do you agree?
I don't know about.
No, where it says Eagles are going to be 14-3.
Yeah, I'm looking maybe 12-5, 13-4. They got some pretty tough games there. So, and we all know the Eagles. They always win a game that they shouldn't win, and they always lose a game that they shouldn't. So,
right.
Dimes checking back in. He goes, thank you, baseball gods, for not injuring Richard Suarez. My goodness, that was scary. It definitely was.
Yeah.
There's my mother-in-law checking in. She said, good morning, guys. Have a fun show.
Oh, good morning, Terry.
Dime saying, remember when I said the Phillies would be up by 10 games by July? 7.5 game lead now, and the Braves are basically finished. I am not counting the Braves out, Dimes. Do not.
Not yet. Listen, we thought this time 2 years ago that the Phillies were going to be cooked, right? Being 12 games out, and they came roaring back. So in baseball, I don't count nothing dead till like near October.
Yeah. The Braves are going to be there. The Braves are one of the best teams in baseball. They'll get it right. And trust me, the Phillies.
We hope they don't, but we hope they don't. But yeah,
they don't. But I'll tell you what, Pat. Speaking about baseball, real quick before I finish into these comments, how about this upcoming week, man? There are some major, like head-to-head clashes. Today, the Yankees finish up with the Giants. Then they move on. They move on, and then later on next weekend, they got a clash with the Dodgers. Next weekend, while the Phillies are in London. Yeah. I mean,
man, we got a lot of fun baseball.
Yeah, you got some bangers really coming up soon with play coming in with Major League Baseball, especially over these next 2 months. You figure you got Dodgers, Yankees coming up. The Phillies play the Yankees next month. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Atlanta, that's got to, I think they've already played the Dodgers. So, but you have all these like top tier teams that are all going to be interacting. Like Baltimore's got to play it.
Some heavyweight fights.
Yeah. So like this is going to be really, really good baseball right now. And by the way, I played a little home run parlay last night. It was free. I took Judge, Soto, and Stanton all hit home runs. I fell asleep. Well, of course, got up this morning. 2 of 3.
It's kind of sickening, but Aaron Judge has just become
I'll tell you what.
He's an animal.
Juan Soto being in that lineup has really helped them guys. Really has helped that.
Yeah.
Yankees are going to be a hard out, and you figure, dude, they're the second best team in baseball, and they don't even have Garrett Cole. They don't even have their best pitcher. So you know what's going to happen when they get hit. It's going to be a good one. Steve checking in says, if any team coming for the Phils, it may wind up being the Nats eventually. They can put something together eventually. Maybe, man. Maybe, because the Mets are floundering. The Marlins are dead fish in the water. Like, they're really not. They got so bad.
They've been out since April.
Right. I mean, they were so banged up coming into the season. Like, my God.
Yeah.
But maybe it might be the Nationals. I mean, the Nats, and they play the Phillies tough, too. The Nats. They always do. Our boy Adam checking in. He says, what's up, Mike and Pat? Awesome show. Go Phillies. What is
Thanks, buddy.
Adam? Thank you for checking in. Adam, you can always catch him with us on all the Fightings finals. He's always checking in. Like our boy Steve here. Joey Hale checking in. Says, I want the closer from Oakland. Joe, I agree with you, but to get that closer from Oakland, the Phillies would have to give up a lot of young talent to get him, and I don't think that's in the cards. But then again, Dombrowski hasn't done that type of move since he's been with the Phillies. That's the type of move that he's known for. He's known for taking whatever kind of what they call cleaning out your cupboard and getting rid of young talent to bring a team in to win now. So I don't know, man. I would love for them to either him or the kid from Baltimore. Not Baltimore, St. Louis. I'm sorry. Him and the kid from St. Louis. Yeah, either one or two of those guys. Steve Chicken goes, I truly think the Mavs have what it takes to take the Celtics to 6 or 7. Only thing worrying me is how easy the road Boston had to this point. Yeah,
because Steve, for me, I just think that, look, this has been a great story for Dallas, and again, a team that no one saw coming. Great story. But to beat that Boston team, I mean, you got to remember the depth that they got coming off that bench is nasty. This might be the only time I ever root for a Dallas team. But listen, to take down that evil empire from up north, please do. If they could pull away, listen. Go ahead, Luka. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen. I'm going to be pulling for the Mavs. I want to see that. I think all the pressure's on Boston in this series. You know how Boston gets there when they got pressure on them. They turtle up. So, but then again, you never know. Sean Kilray, that's right, our buddy from the Sully Squad checking in. Guys, don't forget checking in.
What up, dog?
Along with Joey Sullivan and Diego over on Out of the Box every Monday night, 6 p.m., guys. He says, what's up, guys? They're going to get a catcher. Mason Miller will be a Philly. Okay, he's calling Mason Miller. Whew. Dives were saying the Braves are riddled with injuries. They are. But you know what?
Yeah.
The only guy hitting for the Braves right now is Ozuna. He's the only guy hitting for them. Sooner or later, man, you're going to get those guys, those other, like the Austin Rileys, and I believe is Albies back?
Yeah, like I said,
I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's back yet or not. But I know he will be coming back. I think he messed up his toe or something. So hopefully he's back. But Pat, anyway. So Steve, our boy, that's right. Steve Fuentes checking in, says, good morning, fellas. Have a great Sunday. Steve, it's always great.
You too, Steve.
In the morning. Pat, I have to ask you one question. Our boy Phil from Trending in the AM has been putting out this thing out there that me and you can't handle a 52-inch pizza.
Hold on. He's putting this thing out there that you and I can't handle. You and I can handle anything, okay?
Pat.
Pizza. Yes. Are you kidding me? Come on, Phil. This is a natural disasters over here. This is, you know what I mean?
He never said. Listen, he never saw you eat. Like I can have. I'm a big look. I'm a big dude. I got this way for a reason.
Yes.
52-inch pizza, man. Bring it. We're gonna have to set that up. We have to talk to management.
Matter of fact, I have an eating competition tomorrow.
Aaron Judge is out of his mind. Of course, it must be May. Yeah. He says Phillies versus Brewers is going to be a good series. I thought the same thing until I saw Freddie Peralta pitch yesterday, and he's going to miss the Phillies series. So, but you do get the return of Rhys Hoskins, and I really hope the fans that are down there give this dude a good standing ovation. Don't be a bunch of idiots and Bill.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he'll get all the same ovations, but after that, when bell time goes, it's bell time. So, I mean, that's anything that's necessary.
The only time I ever seen it, Pat, where they got standing ovations all is when Rollins and Utley came back with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I went to the whole series on both of those times, and they literally gave Utley a standing ovation every time he came back. So, and it says, Schulter, and the next question, can they afford Soto? Are you talking about the Phillies or the Yankees, Sean? Because I was thinking that too with him, because basically it was said on the telecast last night. If you were watching the Phillies game, they were talking about the Yankees a little bit. And I believe it was John Smoltz that said, hey, if the Yankees win the World Series, there's no pressure for them to re-sign Juan Soto. The only pressure would be for them to re-sign him is if they come up short. And with Soto being a free agent, could the Phillies be into maybe reuniting Juan Soto with Bryce Harper in that lineup? You figure Castellanos' money's coming off the books at the end of the year. So, and to be honest with you, I'm a Cassidy guy, Pat. I really believe, and my heart of hearts, I think Cassidy's traded this year I think he's traded by the trade deadline. I really do. I think they're going to use him to get a piece back.
Listen, it's all big questions from Dombrowski coming up at the end of the year. I mean, listen, do you break up the band and try something new? You have to keep the good times rolling. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people. I know one particular Grinch from this network likes to give Howie Roseman his jabs all the time. But I mean, you can't deny he's one of the best GMs in the NFL. You know what I mean? If you look at his track record, won the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, I mean, within a matter of 5 to 6 years. So what I'm saying about Dombrowski, so if he's got to take some pieces out to try something new, so be it. Listen, he's made a mark. He's been to a World Series. He's trying to climb over that hill. And with the team that he currently got, and let me tell you something, Mike, the team that they currently have now, and a lot of people that I've talked to in the offseason were really mad with the Phillies because they didn't make a significant big move or big splash. And yet, this team is the best team in baseball. Both sides of the ball. I mean, you look at pitching, the starting lineup, people can't figure them out. They get swing at bad pitches. I mean, they're sinkers. I mean, look at Christopher Sanchez, let alone. He doesn't have a fastball on his repertoire, but he's got a sinker. He's got a changeup. He's got that really confuses batters. And then you go to the flip side, the batters on this team, 1 through 9, like I said earlier, your best pitch winds up becoming your worst enemy. Then you don't have a plan B. Then there's about 5 meetings on the mound with your team. That's how this team gets into your mind, and let alone being down South Philly, being a packed house every night. So, again, there's a lot of things going on with this team as far as positivity. So, again, I like to see what this Phillies team are going to do with Dombrowski. Is he going to go for a big-time bold move, or is he going to kind of like, hey, listen, if it ain't broke, it's not worth fixing. So it's kind of see what, it's going to be interesting what he does, moving forward.
This Dime's checking back in again. He says Strider is out, and now they just lost Minter. Yeah, and Chris Sales kind of had a bad game, too, yesterday. He got rocked by that pedestrian Oakland lineup, man. I looked at that. I was like, wow. Again, that game yesterday was so mind-boggling because the A's jumped out to a huge lead. The Braves fought. I give them their credit, man. They fought back in that game, and then they blow it. And it's just like, to me, I just feel like there's something. I think the injuries are starting to catch up with them, but Steve checking in says Uncle Drew definitely has something to prove to Boston. Your partner checking in here on Attacking 30 goes, Luka and Kyrie is
Steve.
sick. Boston got lucky with stars getting injured in each rounds leading up to the finals. Ooh, okay. He said, Joe Hale checking back in. He says, do you move Sosa to the outfield when Trey Turner gets healthy? I say no. He's not an outfielder. You don't try to put a round peg in the square hole.
It's weird. Like, one thing about Topper, he's been bouncing around Sosa up and down this lineup. I've seen him as high as in the 2-hole. He's tried Sosa out this week. So it's very interesting to see what he does with Sosa. Listen, Mike, before we go any further, listen, I might have to apologize to one of the hosts here at the network here. That's one Joe Sheeran. Because me and him had some words. Not, we're just agree to disagree. And like the maturity of Bryce Harper, I felt like was wrong of him to, again, throughout the week, one game he was slamming his helmet. He got it kind of into it with the ump. I didn't think that needed to happen. Then, out there in San Fran, he gets into it with Mr. Harrison. Kyle Harrison, he gets into it. Kyle Harrison threw a high pitch inside, and then he throws it again, and then they kind of had words going back and forth, and the bench cleared. So at the time, I looked at him like, why is he doing this as a leader? Why is your captain, the voice that seemed to face this team, doing it? But then as the week's going on, I sat back and I really watched him. Now he's, again, throughout this series, he's your best hitter. He has 4 hits. He's 4 for 7 right now. So, again, when I look at it, he's just got passion. And that's what the whole team is. It's just passionate team. They're having fun. They're being again, they're having fun, but they're doing their jobs. They're studying pitchers. They're talking to each other. They're chirping. They're not just sitting like every other dugout, sitting there eating peanuts and they're chewing on their nails. They're sitting there communicating. They're having fun. They're looking and studying every pitch. I mean, this team, and I got to give Topper his due here. He's got this team just in a must-win now, and let's really run it back. A lot of people say let's run it back, but this team is actually doing the part of trying to run it back.
Well, speaking of running it back, if you guys want to get tickets for tonight's game, make sure you run down to sherrystickets.com. That's right, family-owned and operated since 1946. For sports, concerts, theaters, great price. What you see is what you get. You can save an additional 10% off by using that great promo code EOP10. So, guys, make sure you get down to sherrystickets.com. And, guys, our next place, that's right, next 2 weeks. From 2 weeks from yesterday, how about a day trip down to Baltimore? I think that would be a great Father's Day gift for all the dads out there. A day trip, you go down, Philly sports trips, they just do it right, man. They really do. Their tailgates, their, the way the way they set everything up for you. It is a great trip down there. Guys, make sure you get down there. Again, Philly sports trips. And don't forget, if you want to go in there, you go to Philly Sports Trips, Eagle schedules out. All the trips are ready. So get over there and take a look. And, guys, if you need any legal help, make sure you reach out to our guy, David Archerry, at www.cherryinjurylaw.com, or you can call him at 610-565-0300. Let him know that the boys from EOP sent you for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. And last but not least, guys, if you're in Delco or even the surrounding areas, go to 24 East Sellers Avenue, Dolan's Bar. You never know who you're going to run into there. This handsome gentleman on the screen, as you see right now, that is PJ. He owns it. When you go there, tell him again, the boys from EOP had sent you guys over there. And PJ will definitely make sure you have a good time at that place. They do Quizzo music, and sometimes they give out memorabilia. And like I said, you never know who's going to be there. The who's who of Philly sports teams, they go to Dolan's. It's the best little dive bar. As I was told, it's the best dive bar in Delco. So make sure you guys get out to Dolan's.
Other than Blue Oyster, that's the spot to go to. I mean, because it's all.
I don't know about the Blue Oyster, but, I was there last week for Wiffle Ball Mania. It was great talking to John Kruk. Couldn't have been a nicer guy.
Yeah, I saw the picture, man. That's pretty cool.
Bro, I told him the story about me getting grounded for the Padres doubleheader, and he goes, man, everybody always tells me. I said, look, I still have the ticket stub from that game. He goes, no kidding. I said, I got a cigar box. I said, and I told him, I said, I used to, whenever we went to a Phillies game, I would always throw my ticket stubs in the box. I said, I was there for Mulholland's no-hitter. I said, I was there for your game. I said, and I told him the story. For those who don't know, I'll do a quick little thing here. Phillies Padres in '93. They ended up playing a doubleheader. It was miserable. The second game of the doubleheader didn't start until after midnight. Mitch Williams got the game-winning hit at 4:45 in the morning. Me being a young teenager lad at the time, I was 17. We did not leave the stadium until 5:30 because that's when the Broad Street line and the L started running. And it literally, I walked in my door at 6:30, got grounded because I didn't communicate to my mother that I was going to be that late. And she didn't believe me that the game went on that long until my older brother actually came down the next day. He stopped by the house and he goes, Mike must have had a great time being there until, my mom was like, that really happened? And he's like, oh, yeah. He goes, the game didn't end until like 4:45. And my mom felt so bad because she thought I was lying to her. Needless to say, my brother gets me tickets for the next weekend. Phillies Dodgers. It goes 20 innings, but I was smart this time. I made a phone call and said, look, I'm still here. I'm alive. We're good. And we got a car. So I'll be home in 20 minutes afterwards.
Smart, man. Well, listen, look, you had a busy weekend. Again, you're hanging out with the Cruxter. People know I wasn't around last week. I was covering all NCAA lacrosse. I mean, all weekend I spent living at Lincoln Financial Field, living in there.
Yeah, I know. We all saw your pictures of your meals.
Yeah, well, listen, real fast. I mean, dude, I got in there. I got a Italian sausage, right? I got one, and I got two, and I wrapped it in one big giant roll. And someone was like, I got all these ESPN and all the ESPN guys and everybody just staring at me, and they're like, "You're gonna eat that?" I said, call me the God for nothing. 3 bites, bro. And this monster over here, just everyone was like, "Wow." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, I took that thing down. Meat to mouth is nothing." You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
Now you got all ESPN guys going, did you see this guy swallowing sausages at the link? This EOP guy? He's amazing. You're probably on somebody's board up at ESPN somewhere like, we're entering in the Nathan Hot Dog contest.
Well, and one thing was pretty cool. Again, not a big follower of Notre Dame football, but I got to meet Marcus Freeman, their head coach. Pretty nice guy. Got to chill and talk to him for a minute. It was really cool. I mean, really, didn't mind taking a photo. Not starstruck, but we saw that chain around. I was like, whew. Yeah, my man's getting paid nice. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, great dude, man. Got to, like I said, chop up a little bit. Told him I was a Penn State fan, but I kind of mumbled that underneath my breath. I didn't want to walk around like an embarrassment, because they're a head coach. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But anyway, great. Like I said, you and I were busy all last weekend, but look, we're back at it. Our broadcast, our producer, he's out of it. He'll be back next week.
I have to give Al a great guys. There's a reason why Al's not here today. Al is one of the guys that he's one of the, he does Delco Live, as a lot of people know. They are one of the main sponsors for Delco Day. Al was literally he's one of the heads of that. He was making sure everything was going.
Oh, I heard.
He did.
I heard he's like the mayor down there.
Yeah, he is. And I'll tell you what, man, great turnout yesterday. I was there. Our own Freddie Burns was there along with Sal. Sal G was also there. So, and a special surprise, actually.
I saw.
It's up in town.
All the way from Florida.
All the way from Florida. He came up and he came down to Delco Day. So I cannot wait, really, because the end of this month now, June, it's him and Chet's 500 episode. I cannot wait for that.
Amen.
It is actually on my birthday, so I will be here doing our show, and then I will be going up to Langhorne to the Irish Rover to go see them. Pat, let's get back to these comments real quick as we're busting down.
Sure. Whip them out.
Steve says, we seriously need to give Caleb Cotham some love, some K-Lo. He gets many subtle changes to many different pitchers. I believe that. Our boy Sean Kilrain checking in says, Pat, all good things come to an end for Boston. We'll lose. Luke and Kyrie will do damage.
Yeah, but that's only 2 players. They got a whole bench. They got a whole army up there, and I hate to admit it. They're Sean. But that's they got a depth bench, a heavy depth bench right there.
Okay, he was answering my question from earlier. He said the Yankees, Coach Steinbrenner's son. It's himself. Okay, I don't know what he meant by that, but all right. Again, Steve checking in. He goes, I thought Casty is through 2026 options. Maybe it will be Crawford time. I believe he is signed to 2026. I'm not saying that, but I just have a feeling he's going to get moved. He's not producing.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I get a lot of people get on him, but I'll tell you one thing he does what a lot of people don't do in this lineup. Like those ugly balls, and again, he should not be, again, and one thing he can't be, it's obviously it's ingrained in him. He's very aggressive after the first pitches, very aggressive, and he needs to relax. He's always going for the first pitch. He needs to relax. That's fundamental baseball. But there's things he does that a lot of people don't do. Like those high change-ups are out of the strike zone, he makes contact. Those ones are low in the ground. Let's say he's ready to play cricket. He makes contact on it. So he's still able to produce and keep balls in play. That's what he does. Again, I will say maybe the lack, like you said, the lack of production should be there, which is not. But, like I said, again, this team, you and I have said it millions of times. All right, at some point, Harper's going to cool down. But you know who's going to get hot right when he's cooling down? The guy who's been the coolest at the time. You know what I mean? It's crazy. This team's like a stove, and you got multiple heat or burners, and you can flip one on whenever you want.
Morning, Mitch. How are you? Guys, make sure you check.
What's up, Mitch? Right Mitchy Poo. Hi, buddy.
Yeah, make sure you check him out. Fly like an eagle Thursday nights here. Steve saying I think Sosa tried outfield early in the minors with mixed results. I'm not sure Sosa can play MLB level outfield. I agree with that. I think he's just an infield now. And besides, the Phillies have a couple outfielders that they can throw out there for right now. Brad checking in says, hey, he goes, how about them Phillies right now? They're heating up. Brad, 41.
Yeah.
They are looking good, Brad. They really are, man. And they got to just keep winning. He said, I was at the game after I saw the movie The Firm. Okay. Oh, so you were one of those guys that snuck in around 2 o'clock in the morning, huh, Steve? Because that's one thing I will remember about that game. Yeah, here he is. Look, they let us in. My buddy's brother literally came down from like Kensington. Came down, found out like the game was going on. They weren't doing nothing. They walked up and the guards were like, come on. The real story behind that, why so many people got in, is because Spectre Guard at the time didn't want to pay the guys overtime. So they said, look, you guys are out of here at 1 o'clock. So they just left the gates open and people were walking in. It was great. Brad says, prediction on today's matchup, Lynn versus Walker. Take the over.
I know. Brad, for me, it's hard. This is one I might have to say the Phillies might lose because I don't believe in Walker. Walker causes me nothing but gray hair. It's becoming at this point, I know it's going to sound crazy, and I know guys are comfortable in their roles, but I would like to give Strom another chance at come and be a starter than Walker. I would love to see Walker go to the pin, work on his game. I mean, at this point, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a 0-3 hole. It's something you don't need. You don't need to be bound out of holes. You want to stay ahead of the scoreboard.
Listen. Pat, Lance Lynn is like the Cardinals version of Walker. So,
I know he's no the typical hat either.
Yeah, that's why I said take the over in this game because I feel like the runs are going to just be coming. I think this is a game where the Phillies outslug them, to be honest with you. We got the better bullpen than they do. I just feel like they're going to – Lance Lynn's not going to come in here and dominate this Phillies lineup. So.
And it's so funny, again, I remember 2 years ago I was talking about – and you were right. I talked about, how bad I wanted Paul Goldschmidt, how bad I want him. And he's been invisible so far in this series. He's been invisible. And I get it, they've been playing red-hot baseball up until this point. Again, this pitching staff's inside of his mind. It's almost like, where is Paul Goldschmidt?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the way I'm talking about it now, I think they said it on telecast last night. The top of their lineup, the first 4 guys in that lineup in the series is 1 for 1 for 30 or something like that. And it was only Arenado because he got the home run the other night. Let's finish up some of these comments right now. Former Phillies third base coach Dave Bristol. You guys think we can get a win? We just touched on that. Casty is streaky. June and August are his best months. Okay. Sosa needs some love right now. He's playing great, especially filling in for Trey. He is. And we've been
Brad. Very.
And Marshawn, what's up?
Marshawn.
You just wake up?
Yeah, Marshawn. I mean, listen, you bring that to our conversation. And matter of fact, me and Mike are getting ready to switch that over because we do want to talk NBA finals. We want to talk NHL finals or potential NHL finals. We want to talk, and that's one of the segments. You just let us know a segment. You see what Boston is. You see what Dallas is. What are the Sixers going to do in the free agency? What holes? I mean, and Mike, it's funny. Like I look at this NBA finals matchup. And I would told you, Embiid's the best player in the world. Well, guess what? Boston doesn't have Joel Embiid on their roster, and guess where they're at? They're about to suck in another ring. So it's crazy. I mean, but I want to add note from you guys. How far are the Sixers? How far are the Flyers away from being a contender like those teams? Again, you and I went as this Florida Panthers team, the Flyers team who tuned them up all year round. But they got something that's craving right now. I mean, how far are the Flyers? I mean, guys, you tell us about the winter teams right now. We want to know what winter team do you needs to make the biggest splash right now. Mike, I want to bounce to you. What between the two needs to make a big splash?
It's got to be the Sixers. Flyers are rebuilding, so it's got to be the Sixers. But I'm going to read you off. We're going to stay with the Sixers right now, Pat, because I got the list of these 9 potential free agent targets for the Sixers. I'm going to say the name. You tell me whether you want them or not. Ready? Paul George.
No. To me, an older player, I'm out.
All right, LeBron James.
No, I'm out.
Jimmy Butler.
I'll kick the tires, yes.
Kevin Durant.
No, out. I'm out on the old names.
Brandon Ingram.
Yes, give me.
Pascal Siakam.
Yes, give me.
DeMar DeRozan.
Out.
All right. OG Anunoby.
Yes, give me.
And the last one is Mikal Bridges.
Yes, give me. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at Marshall. Look at Marshall's.
Yeah. Hold on. We're going to click on his thing real quick. But he said, Big Al, please cut him a check because he switched into that. Yeah, good luck with that. Marshall. Him to cut you a check. He said, honestly, if we're going to trade for another star, this is where I agree with Marshawn right here. That's the guy I want. I want Mitchell. I want Donovan Mitchell. I don't want nobody on this list, maybe with the exception of Siakam. And if you can't get Mitchell, then this whole Jimmy Butler thing, I'm sorry, dude, they're 5 years too late. They're 5 years too late. I don't want a guy who's been.
Listen, the ship has sailed. You know what I mean? I mean that's why I said I maybe kick the tires on it, but that ship has sailed.
For me, it's Mitchell or Brandon Ingram. You get Mitchell or Brandon Ingram in here to go. Well, I'm cool with that. I don't. And we've been all calling for Siakam. How long we've been calling for the Sixers to try to go out and get him? But here's the thing too. They can sign Donovan Mitchell. If they sign Donovan Mitchell. Okay, what they're going to do is they're going to take him away from the Knicks because this dude's been linked to the Knicks all since the season ended. It's Donovan Mitchell's going to New York. Well, now if you step in and get him to come here, now you're pairing him up with Maxey and Embiid. And to me, I think that makes the Sixers a lot more dangerous than that makes them a lot more dangerous going forward. So I mean. Adam's saying get rid of Harris and bring back Jimmy Butler. I don't want Jimmy Butler, but Harris is going. He's a free agent. Got to be the Sixers. They have the money and urgency to win. He said no.
I don't know. Whoa. hold on. I gotta disagree there. Urgency to win? Question mark? Or I'm sorry there. The Flyers to me have the urgency to win. Again, to me, the Flyers team are just to me what caused the demise of that team was the fact that the goalie situation caught up to them. If the whole Carhart thing never would have had place, you're looking at a playoff team. But unfortunately,
We don't know that.
the things that happened, and with Sam Harrison, it caught up to him, and there was no plan B as far as a backup goaltender. So to me, if they can find themselves a serviceable goaltender, and we'll talk about their free agencies as well. Yeah, you got something a little bit. I mean, with this Sixers team, it's the catch-22. If NB's here, he's the greatest player on the earth. Great, but guess what? That's like 30% of your season that he's there. There's 70% of it he's not, and he's not healthy enough. And then teams are now not afraid of him because he's walking around limping. I'm not going to be, it's just the facts. And guys limping, why would you be feared of that? Now that you saw how that New York team was just running in the paint with him standing there, they're not fearing him. So I don't know. I got more questions to answer with that team.
Hold on. Time me out. Did I just hear you jump on my side of this argument?
Yes, listen, I took the life vest off, and I said, you know what? This Titanic ship has gone down. I was like the guy with the violin with the Titanic, and so let's pack it in, gentlemen. So it's time to get off.
You know what's really funny? Marshawn's giving his yes and no's to my list.
Yes.
My boy Muffler Mike checking in. He goes, which teams need to make a big splash? The Wings. I agree there because it seems like they had a good team this year and they pooped the bed.
Yeah. Hey, Muffler Mike, let's find a head coach first. And don't blame me, okay? I've been getting tired of this. Mike, I don't know if you heard the story last week, but I walked into that press box room, and you know what's the first thing they said is right there? Hey, there goes a guy who made Paul Day cry. I went, really?
Hey, Pat, you know what? We got to be known for something, right?
Yes. So, they need to find a head coach before they do anything.
Well, listen, if you ever see Paul Day again, make sure you bring tissues. Say, hey, man, I'm going to make amends.
Listen, Paul Day, I think in a couple of weeks he's going to be available for PM and the AM. So we're going to get this bottomed up. So I did email him. I did talk to him.
Well,
so,
come on here.
Yes.
No matter how good your defense is, these NBA coaches are too smart. Look at Kyrie and Luka, how they pick and roll teams to death. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Dallas is in the middle of the court. No chance to double Luka because that is easy pickings. Brad checking in says Flyers need to make a big splash in free agency. I think they're.
Brad, who do you want? Tell me and Mike, who do you want? Who would you like to see the Flyers pick up?
Yeah.
This
is what I agree with here with Marshawn. He said Sixers been in the window to win. We can argue the moves that they made, may not materialize, but there is an urgency to win, even this past season, which is right. There was no expectations on the Flyers. Mike Green says 2 words: Chuck Fletcher. Mike, listen, you can't just give Chuck Fletcher grief on this. You got to bring in Ron Hextall as well because Ron Hextall had a bad one. He said, Adam said, who is someone that's not on the list that the Sixers could get as a dark horse? I said Brandon Ingram. So, I think Brandon Ingram would be really good. But I want Donovan Mitchell. That's who I want. I don't want nobody else but Donovan Mitchell or Brandon Ingram. You give me those two, I think it really helps the Sixers. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It must be Saturday. No, it's not. It's Sunday. Our boy Joey Marks from the Patterson Avenue.
The Hammer, the original Hammer. And listen, if you guys haven't caught the Hammer, man, you check out the Cat House. He made plenty of movies. Oh man, I can't believe he's here. That's what you get when you
mess with the Gobbler. That's right. Brad checking in goes, Flyers need to sign Jonathan Quick, Connor McDavid, or Charlie McAvoy. I agree with the Charlie McAvoy. I think that would be really good.
Charlie McAvoy might sound like the most reasonable one, or Jonathan Quick. If you're looking for that backup goaltender. But again, that's an very aging goaltender, and are you willing to kick the tires on that? But a Connor McDavid, that's like you're asking for Boardwalk. What are you going to give up for Boardwalk? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. Here's the thing. He's I believe Matty B, when he was talking on his show, it was either this past Monday or the Monday before. He was talking about look out for 2025 because Leon Draisaitl is a free agent, which I would love to see the Flyers take.
Yes.
I've been a big fan of his. Connor McDavid, I don't think is going to go anywhere. I think Edmonton's going to do whatever they need to do to keep him there and keep him happy. But I do think the Flyers, if they can pony up some money, they can definitely go after the title. Joey Mark says, no Ingram, please. I'm sorry, Joe. I got to disagree with you there. Him or Donovan Mitchell, it is for me. I don't want Paul George. Mike Reed says, Ron who? LOL. Yeah, him too. Forgot that idiot. We're caught up right now. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Marshawn. Biggest Sixers crime is not bringing back Bellinelli and Ilyasova. That lineup of Ben, Ilyasova, and Cove was hard to cover with all 3 points. Yeah.
Although they were threats.
Shoot, man.
And that's the problem they had too this year, Marshawn. They didn't have a 3-point shooter, that threat. They had, they had more. To me, they had more better rebounding this year. But as a 3-point threat, no. There's Maxey, and Maxey was decent. But other than that, who really shocked the world from the 3-point line? Who was more consistent? Not really anybody. Cowboy Dave. Yeah, my man.
He said, good morning, fellas. Can you give a shout-out to my daughter, Faith? She has states for softball in Quakertown next weekend. Faith, good luck to you and your team.
Faith, good luck.
They'll be representing Delco hard over there. Dave, I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm actually going to jump on and talk to you and Paul because, I chimed in on their Cowboy show a couple weeks ago, man. What are you guys going to do at running back? Are they going to sit around wait for cuts or what? Which, by the way, Pat, we got to talk a little NFL a little later. We will definitely do that. Marshawn says Ilyasova rebounds the ball. Yes, he did. Ilya fits way better, Joel, than Sarge, the Turkish Thunder.
Yes. Cork Moss. The Turkish Thunder, baby. Come on. He only shows up for one game, one out of 2. 1 out of 82, yes.
Okay. Joey Mark's checking back in. He goes, there's a lot of young talent that are going to be free agents. That might be mid-level players, but making another Toby mistake will be horrible. Jalen just threw picks at practice. I don't care. Let Jalen throw all the picks he wants down. They don't count. I'll be worried about that when the season kicks off.
So, Mike, you want to real fast kind of shift gears a little bit. Tell me about OTAs. Speaking of the birds.
Going through some of the notes of some of these great, some of these guys who cover it. John Ross, the wide receiver that he actually came to rookie camp. Came to rookie camp as a tryout. Former first-round pick of the Bengals. He's trying to rejuvenate his career. So the Eagles gave him a shot. Well, funny thing happened is Devontae Parker retired. Decided to just up it and retire. That kind of opened the door. So the Eagles signed John Ross to a 1-year deal. And he's been making the most of it in camp. I'm really pulling for him. He's the speed guy. He's the guy that can, like John Ross has got fast. He's speed, and he can catch the ball. So his thing has been injury. He's been injured a lot, and that's something that we can't. But if you're lining up, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, John Ross, and Paris Campbell. That's a hell of a 4 set of wide receivers. So that's on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, Isaiah Rodgers has just been lights out. They said he mainly covering Devontae Smith and was doing a pretty darn good job of it. He looks to be he's kind of showing himself in there. I think the Eagles right now, their secondary, which has been a question mark, if you really look at it, besides, I don't think Bradbury's going to be here. I think they're working on a trade to get him out of here. Rumor has it, Indianapolis has been looking at him. There's been calls back and forth. Looks like he may end up with the Colts. Or if not, he's going to be one of them. It's June 2nd, so start looking at the NFL starting tomorrow to start seeing some of these cuts, too. So he may be a cut. I don't think he's going to be there. But you're looking at Slay. You got Mitchell. You have DeJean. You have Rodgers. You also, a lot of people forget, too, Avonte Maddox there got brought back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The secondary is not as bad as people think it is. A lot of people were getting on Reed Blankenship. Well, stop and think about it. Nobody's talking about the potential of it being Gardner Johnson and Avonte Maddox back playing safety. Everybody forgets that Avonte Maddox played safety, can play safety.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to have Reed on there. So, and I'll tell you what, another name is people have been bringing up too that they said might be able to do, get going is Keely Ringo. They said he's been impressive. So again, you got all these young, quarterbacks. You remember they had some young guys last year. Ringo was a young guy. You had, what the hell, Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks was balling out. So yeah, I think the Eagles. Yeah, they took a little bit of They took a little lumps last year, those guys. But I think they're going to be better going in. Speaking of this, where's that? Yep, right here. Marshawn saying, other than Bradbury, who else looks to be out on the Eagles secondary? Rogers looked good too. I just sat there. I just said that, man. I don't know who they're going to cut or trade, but Ross has always been fast, but buried in the depth charts in Cincy. That's true, Joey, but he's also been hurt a lot too. How much dead cap space is Bradbury? It's not that much. Because when he signed his deal, I think this is the third year of his deal. So I don't think it's that much. He says Ringo looks to be on the outside looking in. No. Somebody, I want to say, they were talking, I think it was Spike X again, Friday afternoon was talking, saying something about maybe Slay might be getting traded, that they might try to move on from Darius Slay.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Joe Moore says June 1 was the cut day. Yeah, no, June 1st is the start of the cut day. The Eagles, right. They had to wait till after June 1st because then it's less dead cap space. He said, your thoughts on the Eagles, Kenny Pickett, and also thoughts. I think Kenny Pickett's only here until a quarterback gets hurt somewhere else, and I think he's trade bait.
And then he'll be out of here for picks.
Yeah, he's a fourth or fifth round pick. That's going to get the Eagles, fourth or fifth round pick back. I don't believe it because I think the Eagles like Tanner McKee. I don't think they're going to, go do that. So, let's see here. Marshawn says, watch how we signed Justin Simmons. The fact that Justin Simmons is still out here to this date blows my mind.
Yes.
I would like to see him. Joe says Bradbury for Lattimore. I don't want Lattimore. Lattimore gets beat too. He said Ricks is really not that good. Ricks wasn't that bad last year, considering the defense he was in, and the kid made good stops. LOL, they go 12-5, but folks are worried about Hurts throwing picks in training camp. Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, I'm not. But Pat, listen. What's your expectations for this Eagles team?
It's fine because, like I said, I'm somewhere in that ballpark. I know a lot of people look at me crazy, and who else doesn't look at me crazy anymore? I still think I think they're a 7-9 team at best. I really do. Just the tail end of that season. And listen, I get it. They're going to be a whole new team, but until then, I mean, this team just put a bad taste out of my mouth when they bottomed out, and it's hard for me to get off the canvas with this football team. I'm trying to be like everyone else. I'm trying to put the turbo into the car and get this engine going and kick it over. But to me, it's just I don't know. It's just like I said, ever since that Niner game, then the follow up with all those bad games. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's hard to get off the canvas. Fall apart. But listen, we got that. We got the Eagles conversation. Guys, please bring them into me and Mike. Listen, Mike's knocking them down as usual. But, Mike, I got to ask you, too. We didn't get, how about your top NHL free agents that are going to be out there? And I got a list for you, sir. Frederick Anderson from the Carolina Hurricanes. We were just talking about the Flyers kind of, getting bolstered up a little bit. If you're looking for a surgical backup. Brian Elliott, the former Flyer, who's now 38 years old. Would you kick the tires on the backup goal? Brian Elliott, would you bring him back from Tampa? Martin Jones, Seattle Kraken, 33-year-old goaltender, is going to be a free agent. A former Flyer, Alex Leon is going to be a free agent. But the one I eyed up is Mr. Semyon Varlamov from the Islanders. That's the one I want. Again, 35 years old, 11-9-2. I thought he played. I know the year before he played really, really solid for the Islanders. I would love to kick the tires with him. I'd like to bring him in if there's anyone, or Frederick Anderson as well. But you got him, you got the Birds. Guys, bring all the conversation you want. I think the Birds
or a 10-11 win team. Pat 7 defeated already.
Yes.
This is the first one. Joe Mark said, Pat, who are your losses on that team? Steve said Pat is on Matty B's payroll. I believe that.
Hold on. I got a screenshot. I'm going to screenshot that one. That's awesome.
Pat. I mean, I know we talked to Flyers. I like the Lions, the former Phantom. I would like for the Flyers to bring him back if you're going to bring back for a backup goalie. Don't forget too. I mean, Pat. If they bring him back at all. I mean, I kind of like where they were going with Erison and Fetisov. I do like where they were going with that. You got to remember, dude, that guy just got off a plane and literally so, I mean,
yes, he did. You're right. I do got to pump the brakes. I mean, you're right. You can't just expect the guy, no floaties, said, here, go swim, taking an infant and saying, here, go swim at 12 feet and expect to swim to the other side of the pool. You're right. Dude,
he didn't even have his own pads. He had to go buy new pads when he got here. He didn't even have his own equipment. So, I mean,
yes.
I mean, you also have another goalie coming from over there that's probably just as, which is really good. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as this, Pat, 7-9 or 7-10 team, no, I didn't.
7, yes. I don't see it. Listen, I got it. We got.
Who are your teams in the NFC?
What's that?
Who's your teams in the NFC ahead of the Eagles? I got to hear this.
I think the Commanders are going to take a major step forward. I think the Lions will be better. Niners, I believe, are going to be a lot better. Quiet, Mike. You better not say either. You better shut your mouth. I know you're thinking like, you better be quiet. Let's see. I mean, let's see. I got, like I said, the Commanders. I got Dallas. I got, like I said, I'm going to go through the NFC North. I got Detroit. I got Detroit right there. I also got NFC South. Just run up and down. Saints will be there, I believe. And I look at that NFC West. I got the Niners will be better than them. And just about that. That's about the teams I got. That's better. And maybe Green Bay. I'm not going to take a break on Green Bay.
All right, I'm going to let you know right now. San Francisco this year will be taking the biggest step back. They are going to find out that losing the Super Bowl that following year, you're going to see just how real it is with that team. Joey Marks has a comment right here that I'm going to bring up. It says right there, Debo and Ayuk both went out of San Francisco because they're not going to pay them. So there's dissension already in that locker room before we even get started. Are you seriously kidding me? You're talking about the Washington Commanders coming in with a rookie quarterback, a brand new head coach, No, they're not going to be better than the Eagles. They're not even as good as the Eagles on paper, Pat. Then you're bringing up the.
I'm telling you, listen. Both this year they took the Birds down to the wire, Mike, with a rookie quarterback.
No, they didn't have a rookie quarterback a year ago. Sam Howell was a second-year quarterback, and he's not even on the team anymore. This is a whole brand new team, dude. It's going to take time.
Well, right. Well, I mean, the coaching staff. I don't know. They took this team down to the wire. I just think that they're going to be a step forward. You better look out.
It's a different coaching staff, man. Are you serious? Like they don't have Eric Bieniemy calling plays down there no more. They got somebody else. Oh my God. I don't even know who you are anymore, Pat. Yeah, me neither. You've been hanging with Matty way too long. His negativity runs off on you. And
I don't know. Maybe something in the water over here. I don't know.
Listen, Matty's Mr. Negative, dude. He is Mr. Negative, and I don't think he has them at the wins you have them. He's got more wins. I mean, come on, dude. Like, I'm sorry, I'm arguing this Dallas point. Dallas has – they're going to have a great defense. Mike Zimmer, great pickup for them losing Dan Quinn. I just feel like they lost way too much on the offensive line. They lost their center. They lost their starting tackle. That's going to be hard to replace going forward. Okay, it's going to take time for them guys to – come on, bro. Are you serious?
I mean, Mike, again, we talk all the paperwork. This is all in some, but every year we always split with the Cowboys. And to me, I'm sorry. I just think that, Dak's a little bit better at quarterback than Jalen. I'm sorry. I just think it,
okay.
I mean.
Well, I'm going to write this down on this right here. Today's date, 6/2/24.
Yes, that's
right.
Yes.
I'm writing it down. I'm right. Pat, 7-10 Eagles record.
Yes. Sorry, Muffler Mike. Yes, my math doesn't add up always. That's why I have my son around. Yes, well, I know I initially said 7-9.
I'm putting it right there.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Pat needs help. I understand that.
So now, when you come in here, and you're sitting there, the Commanders with Quinn as the head coach. Our boy Mike Pat Burdick checking in. He said,
"What up, bud?"
He said Eagles 1, Washington 2, Dallas 3, Giants 4. I think Dallas and the Giants are going to be fighting for last place. And I really do. Steve said, I can't predict what the Eagles are. There are way too many unmeasurable variables, key positions in the middle of the defense and offense to make assumptions. Well, this is what you do, man. Pat has the Birds going 0-5 to start the season, right? Like Kaepernick,
listen.
I'm right around there. I'm 12-5, 13-4. I think with the Birds. That's where I'm at. I don't see a lot of losses, man. This offense is going to put up points. Where my worries is on the defense. And to me, like I said, I'm liking what I'm hearing coming out of OTAs about certain guys like Devin White looking good, being a leader on this team. Like, when was the last time we had a linebacker that was a leader that wasn't named Jeremiah Trotter? Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I have one on. We have a Jeremiah Trotter on this team now. So I can't – anything less, really, I'm going to be honest with you, anything less than 12 wins for this Eagles team with that schedule,
Mike, before we get out of here, listen, I named the show The Face of Philly, right? Because who is it really right now? We're talking about all these teams. And by the way, two honorable mentions right now. Philadelphia Union, you kind of suck at home. You're 1-3. You're 1-4-3. You need to figure this out. You need to play a little bit better. And again, without Julian Carranza, I'm going to get on. That team's abysmal. That team is abysmal. So again, and without Andre Blake, their best goaltender, that team is just ebb and flows right now, just getting by. Then you look at a team that kind of started the PLL, the Philadelphia Waterdogs kind of got things started. And by the way, they will have their first, if you want to call it their first, they go on hub cities. They're traveling to all the teams that all the cities that have teams right now. So they will be here for anybody who wants to go check out some Philadelphia lacrosse. They're going to have it at Villanova football field in about 2 weeks for Father's Day weekend. So if you can't make this trip, Philly sports trips, you come down, check that out. There's a lot going on. They're going to have 2 games Saturday and Sunday. So, guys, I highly recommend checking it out. Again, great stuff yesterday. Michael Sowers, who is a local kid from Willow Grove, is like their face of their team right now. They got rocked early yesterday, but they battled back. They lost by a point. Just didn't have enough time. You catch all across all the time. They'll be breaking all that stuff down. And by the way, good stuff yesterday. If you guys haven't catch it, go on YouTube. Go to EO Edge of Philly Sports Reels Shorts. You catch Gary Groot's quick reaction. Did a fine job yesterday. But anyway, you look at these teams, and Mike, I look at Joel Embiid. Not being healthy, and then him not being there. I'm a little concerned about the faces of his team. Other than like I said, Harper kind of losing his cool a little bit, but he's battling back. And I get it. He's just a passionate guy and passionate about this team. So, Mike, when you look at are you worried about some of the faces around here? Jalen Hurts, the face of the Eagles right now.
No.
Does he have to take? Is he going to take another major step forward? I mean, are these guys, the face of the team, are going to really carry these franchises forward? And who's the face of the Flyers? I mean, is it TK? I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say, generally speaking, I would say TK is probably the face of the Flyers for right now. I'm comfortable with him being the face of the Flyers right now. I'm comfortable with Jalen Hurts being the face of the Eagles, and I'm very comfortable with Harper being the face of the Phillies. But for me, the Sixers right now, I don't want Embiid as the face of my team. I would put Maxey as the face of my franchise. Joel's had his time. He's going on 10 years now. He's about to play his 10th season. You know what I mean?
Listen, we talk about how great he is on the floor and all that stuff, but at the same token, there's a reason why he hasn't won the big one yet. There's a reason why he hasn't got past the second round.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir. I've been told for the last 2 years that I'm nuts because I wanted to trade him. And they're going,
yes.
Again, the biggest – you guys got to get out of your head that he's a generational talent. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and say he's a generational talent and then sit there and say we're not going to get nothing for him or we're not going to get what we want. Yeah, listen, the Sixers can get what they want for Joel Embiid. The problem is he's never going to win here. So guess what? Sooner or later, before it's too late, trade this dude, get all you can, start rebuilding your team around Tyrese Maxey. It's not that hard, guys. It's really not that hard.
They need, and like you say, they really do need to build around. If you're going to look to, and listen, Joel Embiid said himself last summer, he's giving this team a window, this franchise a window. That's fine. So I mean, if you need to part ways, I understand it's going to take a lot, but I mean, you really do need to find some, if not equal to talent, better talent than Joel Embiid, because last year when Joel Embiid went down, that's all the opposing defense had to worry about was Maxey. There was nothing else that really. Kelly Oubre, fine. Tobias Harris, and then nothing. It was very consistent. So we watched how that team plummeted from first to worst fast. So yeah, it's going to be interesting all season for both winner franchises. And now believe it or not, am I seeing another Wings comment? Whoa, Anthony or Adam. Hopefully the Wings play better. I really enjoy going to the games. They're fun and exciting. Well, listen, their face, we know who they are. They got Mitch Jones, a great player. But guess what, brother? Until listen, we'll see who their new head coach is going to be as they continue a head coach.
Steve is saying it's hard for him to picture Maxey as number one option for him. Well, why isn't it? Because, listen, Embiid's had this time to be the number one in the face of the franchise. He hasn't gotten it done. It's just that plain and simple. Now, I will say this. This past season, I will not hold it on Embiid. Okay, this year, it was not his fault. This year, his surrounding players failed him. I will be the first one to admit that.
Like I said,
but, again, Pat, still didn't get the job done.
No, when I look at the season through a sight glass, to me, Joel Embiid, again, with the knee injury, he was limping around, and maybe that was half him, maybe that was half the company trying to rush him back on the floor because they saw the demise of the season. They try and get him back on the floor. And again, we all saw that Golden State game. It was like you saw a guy limping around in the back of your mind, like, all right, when's this going to go bad? And it did. And then when that happened, he had 8 weeks of bad basketball. He came in, he played okay. But again, this is like a Joel Embiid on a 53% good leg. I mean, come on. I mean, how much? So, and like every time, I'm getting to the point with you, Mike. Every time this guy gets in there, everyone's like, all right, well, listen, we'll just we'll fold at the Texas home table. We'll fold, and we'll come back next year. Like, I'm tired. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I'm getting tired of hearing. We're folding. We're folding. We're folding. You just admit that this. Yeah. I'm just want to admit that the whole process thing was a failure, which it was because the two guys you won for, Joel Embiid, can't stay healthy, and Ben Simmons can't shoot a lick of basketball. And it turned out, again, it gave us exciting basketball. I'm not going to give you that, but at the end game was you wound up the same spot in the second round knockout to the Boston Celtics. What happened in 2012? So yeah, I'm kind of out on it.
We got Mike here saying. There's a lot of great players in every sport who never won titles. Does that tarnish their career? Yeah, it does tarnish them because people look at Dan Marino. Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl his second year, never sniffed the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
But it tarnished him because he never won the big one. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, and that's in football. Right here, Barkley, Stockton, Malone, Marino,
Yeah.
right.
Ooh.
That is the question. It does. Question, just as transparent medical staff was, how much meniscus was trimmed because they have to change the offense now. Allen Iverson has to be the greatest player not to win the title. He's one of them, Marshawn. He's one of them. I think Barkley's up there too. Barkley again. But Pat, listen, before we get out of here, what is your meal of today?
Oh, you know what? Sunday night baseball. We got the Phillies, Cardinals, ESPN. Let's get right to it. No, I'm going to go some pasta. I'm going to go some sausage, some elbow macaroni. Yeah, I'm ready for some Italian pasta tonight. Yeah.
All right, there you go. I think I'm going to do. A little bit of pasta myself tonight. Doing some rigatonis with meat sauce. So.
I love a good meat sauce.
Mike Kaepernick says he's having tacos. He's biased with Allen Iverson. Hey, look, a lot of people are biased with them, man. Adam saying 6-3 Phillies win. I think it's going to be a shootout.
I like it, Adam.
I'm taking. I think the game goes over the runs tonight. If you guys want to play a little parlay tonight, take Bohm to get a hit, Harper to get a hit, take Schwarber to get a home run. It's June 2nd. He's bound to start. Those three and the over in the game, over the total runs, because Lance Lynn and Taijuan Walker, I'm looking at I'm going to say 10.
I'm going to. That's safe. I got to see what the lineup's going to be for tonight. I'm not sure if Stubb or Remuto is going to get the start. If Remuto is in, my guess is he's going to carry one deep to left. To left. Okay.
And guys, don't forget, following that Phillies game, that's right, you get to look at his mug because he's hosting the Phillies final tonight. So.
Oh yeah, stay out late with me. Oh yeah, good stuff.
So Pat, you got anything to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Listen, gotta stick to the edge of Philly sports. Again, we have a lot of action, of course. Prior to the show, guys, again, for all you Philadelphia Waterdog fans, check out Philadelphia. We have a lot of Waterdog action. Double G, all across all the time will cover you guys. And then again, Monday through Friday, every 8 a.m. catch Phil Stifle, my man. Had the opportunity to fill in for him last week. Did a great show with that. But yeah, guys, catch him tomorrow. He's got you covered here. And so guys, for me, for Mike,
hold on. Wait. Don't. Guys, just want to let you know, due to work restrictions for me, you will not be seeing me on the Fighting's Final probably for the next 2 weeks. I will be here next Sunday hopefully doing my fulfillment here on our show. But just to give you guys a quick note, so it'll be Al, Sal, Maddie, and Patty B doing the show. So doing the Fighting's Final.
I like that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of made it.
Al to the Sal to the Patty B to the Maddie B. I like it.
So for the Gobbler, Pat Bernard, I'm Mike Laro. You guys be good. We'll see you next week.